Steve Carell is now the big boss at Acme Productions. What is The Rock's new role in the DC Cinematic Universe, and are you ready for the new Game Boy? What's up, everybody? Welcome to TotallyAFan, the show where I, a total fan, come to you and I bring you news in movies, video games, TV shows, comic books, everything involving the world of fandom, and I bring that information to you. Now today we're at what I call Studio C. We're at Mom's house because they're doing stuff at my house. So today we got Jesse, who's been here for a couple weeks now. So we're great to have him on the show. And then we got a new person. I call him my little brother because that's what he is, Mr. Kevin Lee. Kevin.
You just see the
serious face, yeah. Little bro, tell the audience, how are you involved in the world of fandom?
Well, I'm kind of a low-key kind of nerd, kind of underneath everything, but when it has to come out, it'll come out. Well, for movies, I'm a giant fan of movies, and when it comes to it, I'll completely overanalyze the whole entire plot. Character development, whole entire scheme of the plot. Every movie, every DC movie, every Marvel movie, anything, if you ask me a question, I'll give you a whole rundown of everything and probably just annoy you with it. With gaming, I'll look over the character development, all the graphics, all the story, the whole storyline, all the gaming mechanics. I've probably done so many reports about The Last of Us, BioShock Infinite, and so many other games. And also, I'm a huge fan of the DC universe, also the Marvel universe, mostly revolving around the Batman trilogy, and also specializing in anything about the Robins. My favorite character being Deadpool. Probably know almost everything about that dude, and a bunch of other information here and there about other superheroes.
What a resume with this guy. Alright, cool, so he's a big nerd. Basically. Alright.
Down low.
Cool beans. Alright guys, so before we get started on today's show, I just want to remind you that if there's any specific topics that you're clicking on the video for, if you look downstairs, there's timetables that try to time format everything, so if there's something particular you guys want to watch, you just click on there and you get to see that specific subject. Another thing before we get started, a couple days ago, Miss Tui Trang, who Jesse and I'm pretty sure Kevin, she was the Yellow Tiger Ranger, the original. She's the original Yellow Ranger in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. You know, she actually passed away on September, I think 9, 2001, something like that. So we want to wish her a happy birthday, and you know, wishes go out to her and things like that. So today, Steve Carell is now the new big boss at Acme Productions. Many of the older fans will probably recognize Acme as the company that produces Wile E. Coyote from the Looney Tunes with his hammers, TNT, anvils, flying Batman suits that were green, all that stuff. What they're planning on doing is making like a, not a Space Jam 2, but a movie that kind of follows what Space Jam did, where it's going to have the live action mixed in with the cartoon characters, kind of like Roger Rabbit. And we have a couple writers associated with the movie. I believe it was the guys who did X-Men and a couple other movies as well. So it's going to be awesome that we're going to get something, you know, not necessarily a sequel, but something kind of following that. With a big movie, man, Kevin, what do you think about this news?
Of course, as everyone probably feels the same way, Space Jam was a pretty damn awesome movie. Probably the highlight of a lot of people's childhood. And to hear this news, it's mind-boggling about how it's something to look forward to because you're going to relive your childhood. And the whole thing with Steve Carell doing it, it's you don't really know what to expect with it.
Okay, all right. Jesse, what are your thoughts on this?
Why do people care? Like, Steve Carell's alright, he's okay. I mean, he's funny in certain movies. I'm not like a big fanboy about Steve Carell. I can't judge anything without having more information. So I don't know what this is about. It's obviously not going to be Space Jam 2. Is it really going to be like Roger Rabbit? Is he going to... Because it feels to me it's just called Acme right now. That could just mean he's the president of the Acme Corporation, and he could just be... I don't know. It rubs me the wrong way, this movie. I want it to be Space Jam 2, but I don't think it will be. Anything that's not Space Jam 2 is not worth talking about. So I don't know. I can't really form an opinion, other than the fact that it just has a title and a writer, which You know, we all know what happened with Ninja Turtles having Michael Bay and the Michael Bay writer. So I
would go off on Ninja Turtles.
I keep bringing that up, but it just
wish that was a topic.
we went over that.
Smear. It's a smear in our minds. Okay, well, I mean, it has some plus sides. I will agree with Jesse. It is still kind of new, but how are you not going to make, or how are you going to make a Acme movie and not have the Looney Tunes in there? I mean, in the article that I read, if they are going to go for that kind of feel, I kind of imagine it would be something kind of similar to Office, mixed in with Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where it's maybe less of Space Jam or the sequel for that matter, the second Looney Tunes movie, Looney Tunes Strike Back or whatever. I didn't really like that movie. So hopefully it'll be a little bit more of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, maybe with the mix-in of Office. Like everything, you know, once we get more information, we'll definitely present it to you. But I'm actually looking forward to it. I love the Looney Tunes. On Cartoon Network, they still come on at around noon, 1 o'clock noon, and then Tom and Jerry. So I'm very happy for it. I miss the nostalgia cartoons. So for me, personally, I'm totally down for it. Alright, so The Rock on Wednesday, this past Wednesday, he announced that he will be Black Adam in the new Shazam movie. He's been tweeting for a while now that he's been kind of struggling between if he's going to play Shazam or if he's going to play Black Adam. And I remember hearing somebody suggest that maybe he should do both, which would be pretty interesting.
That'd be ugly.
It'd be weird. It'd be pretty weird. But he's confirmed he's going to play Black Adam. Of course, the production hasn't confirmed it, but he has. And if obviously he's in the movie, you know, I take that as an official confirmation. And aside with that, or going with that, there were talks that the Shazam movie may actually not be tied in with the DC universe. They're actually, I remember reading a report that they don't want any type of comedic feel. They kind of want to go that dark, edgy route with the DC movies, especially with Dawn of Justice and the Justice League getting ready to come out. So it's kind of weird that we're not going to see the Shazam or Black Adam or anybody. We're not going to see them in the DC universe. I think that's going to be kind of weird. And I think that may hurt them in the fact that The Rock is a big box office person. He definitely has his legion of fans that'll come watch his movies. And he's getting to be a really good actor. He's gotten a lot better since the days of Scorpion King. And to see, or to hear that they're not bringing a DC character into the cinematic universe, it's kind of weird. Basically what's going to happen is Warner Brothers, like sub-company New Line Cinema, is going to be the guys behind the Shazam movie, and Warner Brothers is going to stick on this side of the table with their DC cinematic universe. So Jesse, we'll start with you. What are your thoughts on The Rock being chosen as Black Adam, or The Rock choosing Black Adam, and then where they're going to go if this is not going to be part of DC cinematic universe?
I think it'd be pretty cool because it'd be nice to see The Rock as a villain again. Since when was the last time? Was it Scorpion King? Was the last time he was a villain? Yeah. He's always been the good guy, the big hero. You know, that's cool and all. But I think being a villain for the first time might be pretty cool to see. I don't know why they're not making it part of the universe. That's just incredibly stupid. Because, I mean, I understand if it backfires, no big deal. But if it, you know, it's a smash and it's out of the park, then they're kind of stuck. You know, like Green Lantern wasn't part of anything. I mean, this was before they even wanted to just copycat Marvel, because Marvel's awesome. They just wanted to copycat Marvel and do the whole universe thing. I mean, they have to connect it somehow. They can't just have a separate movie. So, I mean, he might not be, you know, a part of the new Justice League coming out, but they're gonna have, you know, they're gonna have like a Wayne Enterprises blimp or something in there just to connect it, because at this point you can't just say you're going to do a universe and then cherry pick your movies and not have certain movies be a part of the universe. That's kind of just poo-poo on a stick. So,
going with the Green Lantern, I actually liked that movie. I did. Well, I mean, I didn't think it was the best movie in the world. I definitely think they failed at the script, and I think we talked about it on the show. Maybe I did on in season 1. How Parallax is a really awesome villain, the whole thing behind it, and how it works with Hal Jordan. It was a great storyline, but in the movie, they failed to hit that note. Ryan Reynolds, while I think he's a great actor, I don't think he necessarily hit Hal Jordan on the head. He didn't really hit that mark. But the script, I think, was the biggest problem with that movie. But I didn't think it was that bad. But If we get Ryan Reynolds to come back as Green Lantern again in the Justice League movie, I think that'd be alright.
That would never happen.
I wouldn't be Well, I wouldn't be opposed to that.
They can do a lot better than Reynolds.
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to that. So,
because that was one of the rumors, was The Rock was going to be Jon Stewart as the new Green Lantern. That obviously didn't happen. So I don't think they're going to do. If they do Hal Jordan again, it's not going to be Ryan Reynolds. No way. I think they might do Jon Stewart as the new Green Lantern, but we'll just see.
Okay. Well, and then with the second note, as if they do make a separate movie, I think it may work to a point, because then you don't have that oversaturation of team movies like the Avengers. So it would be kind of cool to see him have his own movie, but then you miss out on some great storylines. Like there's the Shazam versus Superman story arc. I think it was Kingdom Come. So you kind of miss that, and we're not going to be able to see that if they're not going to be combined in the cinematic universe. So I think we're going to miss on that note. I think it could work for them, but not as well as it could, the potential if they do get him a part of the cinematic universe. So they may miss out on that point. But Kevin, what are your thoughts on The Rock confirming Black Adam, and then your thoughts on him not being part of Justice League?
I think he fits the image, and also he fits the Rocky attitude of it. Vin Diesel just really has a raw type of feel, raw attitude to whenever he plays a character. You really have to look past the intensity in his eyes in order to get how really the character is.
Do a little Rock eyebrow.
Amazing. But I think that honestly, I think he can fill the role pretty well as long as he doesn't break character too much, because a lot of the people, what ruins a superhero movie is just them not fitting the superhero persona, and that's what disappoints everyone. And I just think that if Rock can maintain that composure of Black Adam, he can pull it off really, really well. And he's jacked too, so he can fit that. But for that not being tied into DC, to the universe, I'm pretty sure, I understand what you mean, how they don't want it to copy Marvel and everything, but they have to link it somehow in order for that's gonna throw fans to the walls, whoa, that is linked to this is linked to that. It's just gonna make them go crazy if they see a connection. And so I think that they should entirely utilize that, because it's gonna throw fans off the wall and everything.
Mm-hmm. I think it could. Bringing up the fans was a good point, because that too, I don't know if Shazam has a good fan base in the comic. Well, in the comic world he does, but I mean for the movie going audience, I don't know if he's got a fan base.
I think his origin was literally a Superman ripoff, and then they bought the character. So I don't know how popular he is, but he's just Superman.
Yeah, I mean, I know in the comic book universe he's big, but I mean, as a movie going audience, for the example, Guardians of the Galaxy, who knew who the Guardians were? I mean, I kind of think I'm a comic book nerd. I guess Jesse did, because he's a comic book nerd too. But apart from that, who else knew? Now they have tons of people buying their comics at comic book shops and things like that. People are getting into these characters. What about Shazam? Are non-comic book people into Shazam? That's going to be weird if they don't have it connected or tied in, but I do think they may have their cameos here and there, so that could work.
And one more thing, a lot of people are crazy about how Rocket Raccoon got into a movie before, and a lot of other big time DC characters. So if a damn raccoon can be in a damn movie, where are the other characters? Where are the other big time superheroes that everyone's gonna be a fan of?
Yeah, well, this is definitely a subject we're going to talk about a little bit more, because it is the intro to Justice League and things like that. But there's a lot going on at DC that obviously isn't working versus what Marvel's doing and what's working for them. So eventually, this is a subject we're going to stay close to, of course. We got a new Game Boy handheld. I call it Game Boy because that's what it is.
3DS.
You can call it 3DS all you want. I think it's another Game Boy. It's another Game Boy handheld system. That's what it is.
Whatever.
Either way, it's been reported that a new one is on its way. I think it's getting released in Japan soon, and then maybe for us, I think in about a year or so. And essentially, what's going to go happen is it's kind of a weird subject, because for me, when a new Game Boy is released, it's literally a new handheld. There was the Game Boy, then the Game Boy Pocket, Game Boy Advance, I think, then SP, then we went to the 3DS. Then we had the 3DS XL, and then we had the 3D Mini or whatever, and now we're getting a new 3DS, and it's just gonna have more memory and RAM in it.
Tag me in, Coach. I'm ready. Let's go.
Jesse, what are your thoughts?
Okay, first of all, you're not a nerd. Okay, this is my territory. Okay, all right. Well, they announced it's called the new Nintendo 3DS. It's basically the same 3D because right now we have regular 3DS, 3DS XL, which is a bigger version, and then we have the 2DS, which is basically a flat 3DS with no 3D. What they're announcing is what's dubbed new 3DS, which is the exact same size. You get a second circle pad, which they're calling a C-stick because of Smash. You get 2 extra shoulder buttons, so now you have 4 instead of 2. The RAM is doubled. The CPU is a bit stronger. The 3D has a bigger effect because if you used to hold it and you turn your head slightly, it'd give you that double vision. That doesn't do that anymore. But the big problem is that now that they have double the RAM. Certain games are going to be only available for that new 3DS. Like one they announced was a port of Xenoblade Chronicles for 3DS that can only be played on the new 3DS. So if you buy that by mistake and think it works with your 3DS, it's not going to work. So I guess the issue is, why would they wait to announce this so close, or why would they not? Because we didn't think they were going to do this. I mean, 3DS are selling so well, here and in Japan. Why wouldn't they just wait until to release the next new proper generation handheld? From the DS to the 3DS. This just seems like a new addition with better stuff, almost like how they did with the Nintendo 64, the expansion pack. Now you could buy that, but you couldn't play games. Certain games had to have the expansion pack. So I think now it's just that sour taste. Well, now I need to get the new 3DS, or Smash was coming out. I just bought the Smash 3DS, and now I can't get the new one with the new graphics and stuff. So I think it's kind of dumb that they did that, because nowadays Apple, we know every year they come out with a new iPhone, so we wait for that. If we need a new phone, and if I wait 2 months for the iPhone 6 is coming out.
Even if you don't need a new phone.
Yeah, even if you don't. I mean, it's coming out.
Yeah.
So
iPhones could last for a while before you really, really need to upgrade. I
need it every year.
I had the 3S or the 3GS up until the 5S came out, and at that point I needed that upgrade.
I need it now.
So the same thing. I had the 3 all the way up until the 5 came out.
Yeah, so I won't need 6, 7, maybe 8 or 9 by the time those come out, but I won't need the 6 or 7 for sure. I won't need those.
Team Nokia. Team Nokia.
But one thing Jesse brought up is why not wait until a new product is released? And that's kind of where I was going. It feels weird. You're going to upgrade the system, but you're going to have it the same. Think about it in terms of consoles. If you're going to get a 360, if you're going to buy the Xbox One, and you're going to buy the next one that's coming out in a couple months, that's a little bit higher in its CPU and just performance in general, and then the next Xbox comes along like a year later, why not just save all that information for the next system? Why not save it for the next handheld? And that's where I was going for in the intro to this subject is we had the SP, we had the Pocket, then the Advance, and each one had a different technological advance compared to the old one. Performance and everything was better, the way the system was in your hand was different, and now with this one, if it's going to be the same 3DS but just better performance, why not just wait till you make the next 3DS? Or the next
4DS.
Or 4DS. Or the
5DS.
Next, or the next Game Boy product. Why not just wait until that point? And another thing too was the Smash edition. I was getting ready to buy that, but now they're going to have this version. Well, are they going to have a Smash version of that one? Probably not, but now I'm on the fence because do I want the better graphics to get the next Pokemon game, or do I want the older graphics because of the special limited edition version, And I read a tweet the other day, somebody was upset, like, they literally put, thanks, Nintendo, now I gotta get the next Game Boy, after I just bought mine a week ago. So that's, that's interesting, why they would go that route. If they're making money, why are they gonna do a change like this? So Kevin, what are your thoughts?
It's just corporations getting greedy, just dishing out new products every single time. Just like Apple, same concept. Apple comes out with new products every single time, and people sucker into it, and they just get it. It's not a necessity; it's a luxury, but they eat into it. Same concept with the Game Boys and everything. It's what it's just a need that they think they have to have, and they sink so much money into it. But I hate having those kind of luxuries.
All right. Well, you know, agreed. It's something. It probably just is for the money. That's probably the only reason why they're doing it. So it's something that we're gonna have to kind of deal with. We'll see how well they do in sales, and we'll see how the fans react to it over time. But that's it for the show today, guys. Before we go, we do have a couple hat tips going off. The first hat tip is a couple of shows ago, we kind of helped promote The Death of Superman Lives. What happened? They just hit their mark. I don't know if we were able to help out, but if we could, guys, you know, we definitely did what we can for you. They hit their mark of, I think it was 70,000, something like that, and now they're closer to 98,000. They're about to make another 100,000 mark. And right now, as far as I know, they're still going. I think they have a week left, so if you guys haven't donated and still want to donate, go to supermanlives.com and you can go ahead and donate there. Our second hat tip goes to this guy right here, Jesse Meza. He's been with the show for some time now. He's done it almost every week, I think, right? Yeah,
A couple weeks.
You've been in every episode so far of season 2. And then
live or in my little cube square.
Right,
So.
and then we're hopefully trying to launch some new stuff with the show, and definitely Jesse kind of volunteered to be part of it. Maybe
I'm
not
gonna take over the show, so it's going to be mine now.
So we want to give a major hat tip to Jesse. And then our last hat tip is Princess Mononoke. They're getting a Blu-ray release. I was kind of thinking about making a topic, but you know, if you guys haven't seen Princess Mononoke, go check it out. Or wait until Blu-ray comes out. It's coming out in a couple months. It's really great anime by a very talented artist who's done a bunch of other stuff as well. So stay tuned for that and definitely check that out. Alrighty guys, so again, that's it for the show. If you guys have any questions or topics, definitely, you know, feel free to mail it, book it, tweet it, let me know, or you can post it in the comments down below. In addition, if there's a specific topic that you guys want to talk about or that you guys want to see, usually the links are at the bottom to speed forward to that. And yeah, man, so thanks for, Kevin, thank you for being on the show. Jesse, thanks for being on the show this week. Hopefully we'll see you again next week. We'll see what happens.
Maybe. We'll see.
So until then, guys, we'll see you.